I am still forming my sense of self. And if I'm dating in that time, then like that person has a lot of influence over like your sense of self. So it's really important to choose wisely.
In college, you're just like, oh, like let's see if this works out right now, and like who knows what life is gonna look like post college. But now I'm like, I can take a gander at maybe what future would look like and like what that would look like with this person.
Do you think there's room for people to give more chances to people that they think are not initially all of the check boxes that they had already seen?
Yeah.
Or that they have already planned out?
Peep or new light.
Oh yeah. It's so cute.
That was very generously gifted to us by the people that you can't see on camera.
We're so legit now.
We're so legit. We're on air in Studio 5.
We're on air and my hair is horrible.
Okay, well, now that you've said that, people are going to zoom in and look, you know?
Wait. Is it better now?
You look slightly bald, but...
Bro!
It's good. It's fine. It's chill. Okay.
Well, what are we talking about today, Cinder?
We know that you guys are really invested in our personal lives, so we thought we would overshare today.
We overshare every week.
So now that we're both squarely in the back half of our 20s, we thought we would do some reflecting.
Back? Oh wait, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Do you feel older and wiser at this point?
I actually do.
Oh. Okay. I was not expecting that response.
I turned to my older and wiser friend to confirm.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think the only reason I do feel like that is because I went to my sister's graduation recently.
Oh.
And at my sister's graduation, I looked upon the youngins that are coming into the workforce.
Look around, look around.
Yes. And I was like,
how lucky we are to be alive right now.
history is happening
In Manhattan
and not in Queens. Anyway, inside joke.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I saw her graduate
Yeah.
and I was like, wait, that was me like way too long ago.
Whoa. Oh, yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
Does it feel like a long time ago?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. I think officially, only recently have I like looked back and been like, oh, frick, college was a little long time ago.
Yeah,
But I feel like that only hit me like the past few months.
I agree. So speaking of college,
Speaking of college, a lot happened then, a lot happens now.
yeah,
In
and I
particular-
saw Cinder go through a lot in college.
In particular, in the dating scene.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I meant.
Yeah. Well, I saw Carol go through a lot, just happened to be with a singular person.
Oh, and I saw Cinder go through a lot with 3 different people. Was it 3? Okay.
That makes me sound like a hoe.
Okay, sorry. Trace.
Okay,
people.
well, I saw Carol going through sitting on this couch while Boy sat on other couch, and Evelyn, roommate, and I sat in between them.
You gotta leave room for Jesus.
Gotta leave room for the entire church, I guess.
Anyway, we were just little kids back then.
Well, something that we have reflected on is that the dating scene and how we humans go about dating in college versus as young adults is quite different.
Is it now?
The dating scene is quite different. But not just the scene, like how you approach and what you think about and the things. I just feel like things get a lot more serious after you graduate.
Yeah. How about let's reenact
Okay.
what it would be like for 2 people to start dating in college?
In college, yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's reenact. Okay. Okay, I'm
Wait,
David.
how about no? I was gonna reenact yours. Hi.
No, hey.
Wait. You're so fun, and
ooh.
and you're really fun, and we talk a lot, and I go to your dorm, and we hang out, and we hang out for every minute of every day, and should we date? I don't know. Is that too early? We're freshmen.
Wait, Wait, that was highly inaccurate.
That was Cinder. That was Cinder.
I would like to clear my name, okay? How about you be Cinder?
Okay.
I'll be not Cinder. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
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 Okay, here is this is like the third day of school, okay?
Third day of school, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, hi, I'm Cinder.
Yeah. Hi, I'm not Cinder.
And would you like to be friends? And I am just really excited
Okay,
to
yeah. That's more accurate, honestly.
And wait, let's date?
No! The rules to dating are as follows. There's like freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year is like
Hope, rope, stope, and clope.
Nope. Hope. Scope, rope.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. I feel like everyone was like, ooh, why would you sacrifice your year of freedom and discovery of yourself?
Yeah, yeah. There's
For
like
a
so
man.
much going
Boy,
on.
actually.
Yeah. There's so much to see, there's so much to learn, there's so much to do.
So much to see.
And a committed relationship is not always conducive. Sometimes it is,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
And so we said nope. But then we proceeded to
Hang out every day and hold hands.
No, we didn't. That's disgusting. Cooties, bro. I think the moral of that story might be that we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah. Also, the moral of the story is that if you hang out with someone every single day, you probably are going to date them.
Oh. But not until sophomore year, because that's
Right. Because
when it becomes more socially acceptable.
Right.
If I were to break down a little bit of like, or like we don't know what we're doing in the sense that like it's just fun.
It's like, you like me, I like you, date.
Yeah. Maybe it's like one level above like the high school naivete, but at least, or like in college, at least I was having the thought of like, for me personally, I would want to like be in a serious committed relationship.
That sounded really serious.
But I didn't know what that looked like. So
And
it's
you
like
were 18.
yeah, I feel like undergrad, like the underclassman me was like, I want to be an adult, but I just don't know how. Or like I want to be serious and I want to like have a mature lens in approaching life decisions.
Right.
But I'm still stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Not
can
stupid.
attest.
Okay, stupid is like harsh to my freshman year self. I think you just don't know what you don't know kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not stupid.
Oh, thanks.
You're just funny looking. Anyway.
Well, good thing I'm editing this pod. 'Cause that's getting cut.
Okay.
Okay. I think we should now reenact yours because chronologically you were next. Is that cool?
Okay.
Okay. I'm David. You're Cinder in this. Okay.
Name dropping.
Oh, sorry. I'm Davy Bear. Okay, yeah. Maybe we should have disclaimed in the beginning that we have a very narrow, like, there are so many different experiences you can have in college, and so ours just reflects one or two.
Yeah. Wait, also another like background on our expertise in this area. Like I think Cinder
That is my name.
so Cinder anyways, in college had a couple of little boyfriends. And
That makes me sound so...
what am I supposed to say? 4, 3.
What? 2, 1, blast off. Wait, 2, right?
Oh my gosh, you're so right. Why did I think it was 4?
I don't...
Anyways, and
Right.
then she also dated outside of college. So it's like you experienced the two sides of the world.
Oh, yeah, and you've only experienced one? Is that what you're saying?
Or I've experienced the
The transition. Yeah. That's cool, actually. We have 2 different perspectives on that.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, nice.
Well, that's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, Carol, for context, started dating in college and then moved to New York, so did boy, coincidentally.
Yes.
And
you were about to say with boy, and
yeah,
I was about to correct you.
I know. I corrected myself. And has since grown into a full-blown adult.
Thank you.
At the same time.
Thank you so much. I'm honored.
All right.
Now that we've laid the ground rules.
Okay, now let's give...
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
back to you.
Me being Davy Bear.
Okay.
And you being Cinder.
Okay.
Okay, this is our student union. I'm like walking like a cool kid, very composed. And then, oh, hey, Cinder. Do you know where Carol Block is? I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, well, I was just looking for her.
I was confused on the role in that reenactment. Who was I?
You're Cinder.
Oh.
Cinder doesn't know where Carol is, but Cinder's first conversation with Davy Bear, probably in that entire year, was trying to help Davy Bear find Carol Block, because Davy Bear was supposed to go to lunch with Carol, and she was nowhere to be found.
You really played a huge part in so much of my life, and I just really wanted to thank you for it.
I just want everyone to know that I was there in the beginning.
And so was I for hers. We'll just say.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you want to help paint a picture of like what dating in college looked like for you and how that transitioned? What was specific to college, and then what started changing after?
Well, I think it's very similar to the reenactment of how you started dating.
Not Cinder.
Yeah. It's just like, oh my gosh. Hi.
Hey.
Date? Okay. So yeah. And I feel like once you go into adulthood, you're like, oh, there's so many things that I hadn't thought about. Like, maybe, do you want kids? Wait, you haven't thought about that? Wait, we haven't thought about that? Wait. Do you want to live in the city, or do you want to live in a suburb? How long do you want to do that for? Wait, I've never even thought about that. Wait, you've never thought about that? Well, like, maybe we should think about it now, because we're kind of getting old.
Yeah.
Anyway,
or I feel like, to clarify on Carol's behalf, it's not like she's trying to have kids like ASAP, but it's like,
oh yeah,
like, why did you guys start talking about that? Even though kids might not be for, I mean, at that point when you guys started talking about it, it was like kids might not be for another like 8 years, right?
Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, if you've never even thought about your life trajectory up to this point, as a 22-year-old, you don't think beyond 23. You're just trying to get a job. Yeah. And then that's all you've ever planned for. Right. But then once you turn 23, you're like, frick, I need to start planning for my next
the rest of my life.
Years, 10 years. Yeah. Or like, even if you don't have a plan, you start thinking about like what you value and what you like desire.
Yeah. And I think that's why things start to get more serious in the dating realm too. Like in college, you are like logistically unable to plan that much beyond graduation.
And also your foresight in your frontal lobe hasn't fully developed.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like when we come into adulthood, start settling in, it's like, oh, things can, like, the horizon goes a little bit further. It's like, maybe my job is going to change a couple of times, but like the trajectory I can just see a little bit further along the horizon.
Yeah. Also, when you're in college, or like throughout college, you start building a sense of self. And that's like your foundation that you take into when you are in your 20s and when you're still discovering things about yourself. Like that's the foundation of what you're building off of. Right. And like your launching point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So then in college, when your identity is just slime.
Oh, you were slime? I don't know. I felt pretty confident myself.
Okay. Okay, and anyway, who?
Okay, yes, slime.
Anyways,
continue.
You know, and you're just like you're being morphed and smushed
Yeah.
and things.
Yeah, you are being morphed and smushed. Okay, fine.
Yeah. And then when you are 22 and you graduate college, you're like, oh, like, I think these are things that I want to bring forth into my 20s and beyond. And that also helps you start thinking about the life you want to build, what you care about, what you want to work towards,
I see.
who you care about,
Yeah.
and then how those things align with
A partner.
potentially.
Doing that with someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Totally
so,
don't have to, though.
I mean, I don't think I was cognizantly thinking at 22, like when we first moved to New York, like, okay, I'm figuring out my priorities now and like what I want in my life and like the things that I'm going to carry over from my identity in college. I wasn't like cognizantly thinking that, but over time, like that gets like certain things
Are a forcing function.
Yeah. To figuring those out. And we've talked a lot in this pod across episodes of like figuring out those priorities for yourself and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think like we had a guest who was saying like values are just more at the forefront of your mind when you start looking not just for like dating relationships, but like friendships too, and like just who you surround yourself with in general, who you spend time with.
Yeah. I also think like us moving to a new city also was a big forcing function.
Yeah.
I can't really speak to the kids who moved to the burbs, but I'm like, I feel like because we didn't already have established community when we moved here, like we had like you, myself, and you.
Me, yourself, and me.
Yeah.
Got it.
So we had that. But then
Right.
I think that was kind of it. And then we were like, okay, how do we tackle this big city? And I feel like every decision we've made about who we care about and every career move and
Exactly.
how we spend our time
Yeah.
when we have like so many options is a forcing function for you to figure it out.
Yeah. Right. What fun. So, wait, can you continue for us? Like, you leave college and slowly, like, these new thoughts that are, like, more adulty start coming out. How did your, like, finding and refinding of, like, your values and who you are and stuff influence how you approached your relationship?
Is this an interview?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like
As someone who does not have the experience that you do, I would love for you to just shed light.
as someone who watched me go through this, you should already know. Anyway.
Okay, yeah, I'll answer.
Okay. I think that I feel like when you're an adult and in a relationship, you start like choosing every day that you are going to stay in this relationship. Is that tea?
Whoa.
Is that a hot take?
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, I think you should elaborate for
No, because like I have my own agency over my own time. And like to include someone else is like a really big thing. You know what I mean? Like in college it's like, "Oh my gosh, we can do and eat at the dining hall together every day. We can do homework together every day." And it's really easy and it works out.
Oh.
But when you're an adult, you're like, "Oh, well, I want to be spending my free time doing this, this, and this." Are you going to be detrimental to that or supplemental to that? You know what I mean? And then I feel like every day is like a decision of like, this is a commitment that I'm going to continuously make. But that means that you're also testing against like, oh, do our values align long term right now? I feel like those questions are much more apparent in my mind.
Whoa.
And so, yeah, then
Dang.
you start making decisions of like, oh, we should probably talk about values if I'm going to continually like commit to this relationship every day. Like,
Whoa, yeah. Just because there are so many ways to spend your time
yeah,
as an adult.
yeah.
Yeah. Dang.
So then it's a forcing function again for you to talk about values.
Wow.
Because if we don't talk about them, then I spend a day not knowing if my values align and priorities align with you. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to lollygag. I'm 26 now.
Oh,
I'm not trying to lollygag.
I think like on top of that, in at least the early 20s, I don't know, but maybe beyond too, like our priorities, our values, like who we are becoming, our sense of self might be the most volatile. Like it's changing, it's evolving so much. And so it's like with each season, I don't know, however you define season, with each passing like week or month or whatever, however often you like evaluate or reflect. With that too, evaluate how you spend your time, which includes the relationships that are in your life. And of course, I feel like with the dating relationship, you're spending the most time with them, or like the most consistent amount of time.
Yeah.
And it's a large commitment if it's a committed long-term relationship. And so with the changing values, you can be like, are we still growing together? Are we still on the right path? And I feel like that's something that you just have to check in on a little bit again and again.
What you were saying about like our sense of self is changing, I feel like that's like very much, or I guess your sense of self always can evolve, but like in our transition from young adulthood to adulthood, this midsection of like
You
22,
mean like the stomach of our 20s.
yeah,
We started at
the
like
abs, 22 to like 27. I feel like, or maybe a little bit more too, is like, oh, I am still forming my sense of self. And if I'm dating in that time, then like that person has a lot of influence over like your sense of self.
You become.
So it's really important to choose wisely, because you know, like what if they're a negative force in your life, and then the way that you change or the way that you like define your sense of self gets like there's a bad influence, or there's like an influence that you don't want to like go towards.
Right.
So then you should also like continue. But like for me, I'm like, oh, I should also be continually testing. Like, oh, is this influence in my life? And it's like an invisible force too. Like you're not like not actively like letting someone influence your life. But it's just like
naturally
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like if that is not a positive force, or like positive, like the trajectory that you're going in, and it's not positively shifting it,
yeah,
then no.
Yeah. I do. Yeah, I feel like an assumption we're making here is like we both believe that like your life and who you become is influenced by the people around you. Granted, like you let them in and stuff.
Even if you are on the hyper independent side of being in a relationship, I still think there are like micro influences.
Totally.
Obviously.
Yeah.
If you're like walking life,
you're spending a lot of time. Yeah.
So.
True.
Yeah.
Even if you spend like one day a week, it's still one day a week over the course of years or seasons or years or whatever.
Yeah. 52 weeks in a year.
And I feel like Carol can say this, or like has the credibility on this, because as a hyper independent person for the majority of their relationship.
Yes.
So take her word for it that like even if you are hyper independent, you'll still be influenced.
Yeah.
Take my word for it that if you're not hyper dependent, you are also influenced.
If you are not hyper dependent.
No, if you are not hyper independent, i.e. to some extent dependent. Also influenced.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I think either way. And I mean, again, like I feel like this is direct parallel to friendship. Of course you're influenced in different ways. Like I feel like dating versus friendship, there are different roles that they play in your life, but same thing totally goes. Like I feel like I'm highly influenced by living with Carol, and that's just that. I just have to deal with that. I have to accept that as part of my life.
I'm a freaking positive force in your life.
Ooh.
You're welcome. Anyway. Well, what about you as someone who started a new relationship post-college? You were like completely out of the college realm of things. And then you were like, oh, how do I think about a partner?
Yeah. I think I agree that moving to New York, it's a specific experience, but it was super formative. And I feel like my sense of self and what I cared about, what I thought about, what I prioritized in my life shifted a lot in like the first 2 years. There was a period of time, do you remember, where I was like very disillusioned about like dating. Disillusioned is like a very nice way to say it, but I was just like, dating is useless. Relationships are useless.
I do not remember this.
What? In large part because I was like trying to also figure out like what I would want in a relationship and like what role that would play in my life. For example, I am someone who like knows that I am formed and I love to be formed by the people around me. But we were like finding community, we were finding friends in the city, we were settling down. And so like, does a dating relationship play a role during that time? Yeah. On top of that, like, we moved away from home. And so I think my relationship with my parents was changing and my sister. And it was like, how do I maintain those relationships? And what does that look like in the context of like finding new community or new relationships in the city? So I feel like those were all inputs that did not exist in college. Like I wasn't thinking about what role does a relationship play in my life when I was in college. But maybe to your point of like, there are so many different ways that we can spend our time. And there are many different choices that we can make on like what we prioritize and who we prioritize. Because of that, I feel like there was a lot more thought around bringing someone new into my life. Okay, yeah. And then on top of that, the other piece is like, because values are more front and center and the horizon is like a little bit longer, I'm thinking about things like, will they be a good dad? Yeah. Yeah. And I think there was just a lot more thinking about the future early on. And maybe it's just because it, quote unquote, the future, as in like what life looks like post 20s, maybe, feels easier to visualize than in college. In college, it's just like, oh, like, let's see if this works out right now. And like, who knows what life is going to look like post college. But now I'm like, I can take a gander. I can take like a guess at maybe what future would look like and like what that would look like with this person. And so I feel like, yeah, it's like, it feels a little more serious in that sense. I'm like thinking about future stuff a little bit more, which is also scary. But yeah, I feel like that just comes up more naturally.
I also feel like as like an observer in your life, like, get ready.
Not just observer. Active participant. Highly influential.
You don't have to take my word. You just, you know. What was I going to say now?
Frick. It's natural to think about the long term more.
Oh, I was going to say.
I'm so good.
You just repeated your own thought.
Yeah, and then you remembered.
Anyway.
You're welcome.
Anyway. As like a formed adult, like I feel like you formed young adult, we'll say, like now you have a much better sense of self, or like sense of self, but also like confidence in like general directions that you want to go. And I feel like and general like purpose in life, I don't know, like I feel like you have like these thoughts in your head about like who you are directionally, and that probably has like a much bigger influence into like whether or not you date someone too, because they could be directionally very different challenged person.
Right. And in college, I don't think direction, quote unquote, direction is like that.
No, you think about vibes and humor. That's probably
were you thinking about humor?
Mine.
Okay. I also think maybe a caveat to my experience is like, I am one who changes direction, maybe more so than the average human. I think I like go this way and then I'm like, okay, cool, I tried that, let me go try another path. Okay, I tried that, let's see what else is out there. And so there's a lot more like evaluating and reevaluating my priorities, and then thus like a potential partner that I bring into my life. But hopefully that's settling out.
Well, I think that's natural for like our current life stage. Like our current life stage is the exploration and sifting stage of life.
Sifting sand.
Yeah.
All of the ground.
Anyway, so then I also think that like the benefit of dating in this time is that you can see like if they're the positive force as you're like sifting.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I feel like it's a good point to make that, like, it's not like you're entering a long-term relationship and then you're set. Like, your direction is set and, like, all this stuff. Like, you can still change just as much and, like, evolve as a person. And if anything, like, letting someone in to that, like, in such close proximity to your life, to your, like, raw thoughts, can, like, really help form both of you in terms of, like, what you believe, because you're having deeper conversations, you're reflecting with each other. Yeah, and I feel like it can hone, or at least for me, it helped to hone, like, what I agree with and what I don't, by, like, talking to and processing with someone and people in general, like, very close to my life.
Yeah. Someone, I remember, like, they were telling me, this is a married person, and she was like, oh, I get, like, a front row seat to,
Yes.
like, the coolest,
front row seat.
Yeah, to the, like, all the decisions, all of the pain, all of the, yeah, with
Aw.
someone else.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, sometimes I wish, though, that I was, like, a fully formed human prior to even meeting someone, so that I could just be like, you know what, this and this is who I am, that is not, and you are not, you know what I mean, like, or confidence in that, and, like, the unclarity, what is it, the unclarity,
Sure,
is, like, it, that makes it harder, or, like, it makes it more work too.
Yeah.
So then,
That's true.
like, I remember when I was a kid and I was, like, watching, like, these Wong Fu videos, and, like,
Shout out Wong Fu.
and yeah, and, like, at the end of the day, like, I think they were talking about, like, when they were dating, like, prior to, like, Phil, like, getting married to Helen and whatever, like, they were talking about, like, what they look for and stuff. And I think they were, like, probably in their late 20s, like, early 30s. And they were like, yeah, like, I just, like, have a really strong sense of self, and, like, I know exactly, like, within the first couple of dates, like, this is, like, it or not.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dang, like, that clarity sounds so cool.
Nice. Yeah. and I do think for the friends that we've had who start dating, like, later in their 20s, or even, like, at 30, they are so clear. Like, our friends who are, like, in their 30s on Hinge, they're like, yeah, I know exactly, like, what I am looking for. And that just sounds very straightforward and nice.
Yeah.
I feel like you said that a lot, like, as you and David were figuring out the big life questions. You were like, I wish that we started dating later so that those answers would be clearer.
Yeah.
Because, and I feel this too. It's like, with those big life questions, we're figuring those out for ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, alongside the other person.
Yeah.
It's like, how much do I want kids? Yeah. Or for me, I'm trying to think of, like, specific examples. Like, how much do I value, like, my culture or my heritage and, like, wanting to connect to that? And then how much do I want my partner to be able to understand that?
Yeah.
Or meet me there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And I feel like tied to that then is, like, how core is my culture to me as, like, a pillar in my life?
Yeah.
How important is it to me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're figuring out all of those things
For ourselves.
for ourselves, and that informs how we evaluate our partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As much as I do wish that I had my pillars already, that's unrealistic. And it's also unrealistic for the other person also, or at this stage in our life.
Yeah.
Like, for me to expect the other person to also have those pillars formed already.
Right.
Which is just, like, unfortunate. But you know what? It is what it is. And, like, I don't know how, like,
It's unfortunate to be human.
it is, and, like, have flaws. What the frick? And also, like, I think that, like, when you think about those people who got married back in the day at, like, 19.
Yeah.
Like, who the heck were they? Like, they had no sense of self.
Yeah. That's true. Although I remember, like, an auntie from church was sharing with me that, like, it's hard, but it's also a joy, like, if you get married young, to form each other. And it's almost like, because you're more moldable, you shape each other even more, like, when you're young. I know, for better or worse, right? For better or worse.
Scary.
But there's, like, beauty in that too.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you're later in your 30s, like, your sense of self is a lot more set. And so you're finding someone who, like, has formed themselves into like a compatible person. And it's just, yeah, it's a different way of going about things.
Yeah. Yeah. So does your pool get smaller over time?
Our friend off camera is nodding vigorously.
Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah.
I was talking to like one of my coworkers who is like approaching 40. She lived it up in her 20s, was not interested in a long-term relationship. Like started thinking about it ish like in her 30s. And now she's like, yeah, like I've fully formed myself as a human. So there's clarity, but there's also like specificity.
Yeah.
But it also means like she has gone on many dates, and like you go on 1 or 2 or 3 dates, or you're committed and you're going.
Dang. Have you seen that TikTok where like there's this girl and she's like talking about the pool, her dating pool with like coffee beans?
No.
It's like she has like this fistful of coffee beans. And then like I think the person she's talking to is like, oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea. And then she's like, okay, well, no. And then she like puts down all of the coffee beans in her hand.
Yeah.
On the table.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, half the population are women. I don't swing that way. And then it's like only half the beans. Then it's like a quarter of these people gay. and then the rest is like, well, I want them to be like hardworking. Cut. Yeah. I want them to be blah blah blah. Cut. And then they're
exactly.
Like, and then she's like, oh, and they should probably be like attractive. Cut.
Yeah.
And then she's like, there is one bean.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and like I think as we progress through our 20s and like develop our sense of self, we have more things that we cut.
Yeah.
Maybe like, you know, at 24, however old you were like, I want kids. And so I cut that now. Like,
yeah.
That becomes a non-negotiable for me.
Yeah.
And then maybe at some point you decide like I
only want to date Chinese people.
Sure. Yeah. Then you cut that. Yeah.
Okay. But on the contrary, as a contrarian with hot takes, like I do understand like the specificity, and I do think it's good to have a high bar. Okay.
Good.
I'll just lay that out there.
Thank you.
But at the same time, like, do you think there's room for people to give more chances to like people that they think are not initially all of the check boxes that they had already seen?
Yeah.
Or that they have already planned out?
Yes.
Because there's this friend that we have, and like is very, very clear, like checkbox of lists of things. And I think at the end of the day, when you're like cutting people off at the first date, like, oh, they're not meeting these checkboxes, they're not meeting these checkboxes, like then you're not able to fully understand the person as like a very unique, like a whole person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And deciding whether or not you like this person as like an individual, special, sparkling star, special snowflake in the world, you know? And you're trying to find someone that will fit into like this missing puzzle. You know what I mean? But with that friend, I'm like, why don't you give it like one more shot and like just learn a little bit more about this person? When I talk to our friends that are like cutting people off at first dates.
I wonder if like there's at some point, or as you hone your priorities, like what you're looking for becomes more specific, but then also the maybe stuff that you thought was a deal breaker before but is now like super secondary or even tertiary.
As you get to know a whole person, you start to see how like different things in a person affect different parts of that person. So like you could say like, oh, I always really wanted like an extreme extrovert and like really like good with people or something. But if you cut them off at the first date with just knowing this one fact about them, that they are not what you expected, like you don't get to appreciate the other things that if they are an introvert or if they are like not as sociable, like all of the cool traits of that person that are because of this thing or like due to this thing.
And maybe this is just from my outsider's perspective, but I feel like the friends that I know who started dating later in life, like it feels like the judgments that were maybe a little more shallow or surface level are the ones that get like wiped out, like and not considered as much. Like I'm thinking of an example of an older couple. They're like just hitting retirement, and they have now been married for 20 something years. So they got married late in life, like around 40, 38, 40, around there. And I was talking to the woman. She said that when she was dating in her 20s, she was giving me like advice on dating. She was like, in her 20s, like she was looking for somebody who was very active in church and served a lot and like was on various ministries and was good with kids and all these different things that like to her marked the ideal partner. And she was like, little did she know that like the person she would end up marrying like did not grow up in church, has like seen the hood, has like lived in the hood, has like joined the police academy, and so for her, I think like she was no longer like having these expectations, these blanket expectations of how someone should live their life, but she was looking for like the core values and like learning how they manifest in that person. And she saw like his heart, his desire to learn about God, his desire to serve other people, like through the reasons why he joined the police force, the reasons why he joined the military, the reasons why he chose to become a PE teacher later on in his life. Anyway, they're doing so, like, they're like the happiest couple that I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
I think there are like valid like check boxes that people have. Like, I do think flossing is important. I just think that like at the end of the day,
yes,
like my experience is probably similar to what like the friend you just shared. Like it is like getting to the core of like a person and like just the values that you're searching for.
Yeah.
And like the way that people live out their values can look really different, or express their values are really different.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I do feel like there's certain things that are like really specific to like who we are.
True.
And what we value.
Yes.
Like I do think people value like someone being funny or like someone being a flosser. Like I think those are like valid things that people, I think for us we've distilled that like what people value and how that's expressed can look very different, and that's okay for us.
Yes, for us.
Yeah.
Wait.
So I'll just say that.
Ooh. Should we wrap with like one or two things that you've distilled as like a core thing that you look for in someone that maybe like changed from college to now? Like I think one for me that has changed is like in college I was like, well, I'm obviously the extrovert in the relationship, and so my type is like someone who's like super quiet and likes math, and like we're gonna balance each other out like that. And towards like later in college, and I'm thinking about it again now, like yeah, I don't think the person I date necessarily needs to be like the opposite of me, but maybe has the characteristics of what I appreciate in my introvert friends, which is like good at listening and someone who is like a stabilizer in my life. It doesn't have to manifest as like them being a quiet introvert.
Well, for example, like the flossing thing, like I think the value down deep is that you take care of yourself and you like think about it enough that you have the space to take care of others too. And I think flossing is like a tertiary value that people have. But if you do floss, then it probably means that you have enough brain capacity to think about your own health and probably someone else's as well. So I do think it's like a cool exercise, actually, honestly, to like think about all the things that you value, like all the check boxes that you have for a person, and like see if I can think one layer deeper than like the surface level like checkbox that I have.
Right.
Like why do I actually value that?
Why does this matter for me? Like not just as like attraction or like surface level compatibility, but like how like we can support each other or like build each other up or grow together or partner together. Yeah.
And I feel like you can very easily start crossing things out and being like, oh, this is actually not that important. Or like you think down deep to the value and you're like, oh, actually like that was like motivated by like not a healthy thing. And then you're like, oh, like for example, like like, I think some people have like the checkbox of like, oh, the guy needs to make more than the girl.
Oh.
Okay. That's just like a example. But then like, if I were to think about that and let's say like I think down to like what is actually motivating that checkbox.
Yeah.
Like it's a pride thing, or like it's like a masculinity thing. And if that's like the deeper like reason why I wrote that checkbox, then I would be like, oh, that's not motivated by the right thing. I'm going to cross it out. Like that's not something that I should be motivated by.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like just like a generally good exercise. Yeah.
Or we were talking with our friend Maria, and we were like, a lot of girls will like traditionally like the onion to like peel back the layers. But then like, where does that come from? Is it coming from a place of like wanting to be the special one that they open up to, or like be able to like help them like navigate their emotions?
Yeah.
And is that a healthy place to start a relationship? May or may not be for people.
Yeah. So like the deeper rooted motivation as to like why you would want an onion of a boyfriend.
Right. Onions are smelly. Just kidding.
P.U.
Anyway,
yeah. So I feel like it's a generally good exercise that we should probably do. And then that's like a healthier launching point for like, healthy relationships.
Yes. And as you do that, you learn so much about yourself. Like what motivates you in general. Yeah. Not just in dating, but far beyond.
Far beyond.
See the line where the sky meets the sea.
It calls me. Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
That
was some good reflecting.
That was good.
Anyway,
you guys are all getting wedding invitations to Carol's wedding.
What the heck?
First 500 names in the comment thread.
First 500 subscribers.
Ooh.
First 1,000 subscribers.
First 1,000 subscribers.
Honestly, we just need 1,000 subscribers so we can start making ad revenue.
No. so we can start making $1 per 1,000 views.
Yeah. So if you could hit that like and subscribe button for us to start making money, that would be really, really great.
Yep.
And yeah.
And then hopefully one day we won't have a piano bench for a microphone stand.
Yeah. And we can also maybe use that money to supplement the losses and the investments that we have made into this podcast.
No loss. Only
creative
great conversations.
Right. Anyway, but these might cost money, so if you could subscribe, that would be great.
Okay.
Anywho,
thanks for listening.